something else happened today, and this is so embarrassing. It's not embarrassing for me or you. We good. It's embarrassing for left. Well, I would even call. You know what? I don't want to call them left media. The problem is people who watch Fox and people who are more conservative. They think MSNBC, CNN, CBS, ABC, all these B's and C's. They think these alphabet cable news programs that cover news, if they're not Fox, they think that they are left. They're not left. They're corporate. They're owned by corporate entities, just like Fox is. And they're not left. They're at the best, middle, at the best. Now, what happened was Megyn Kelly. Y'all remember Megyn Kelly? Megyn Kelly sat down with Tara Reade. We all know Tara Reade is the woman who accuses Joe Biden back in 1993 when she worked at his Senate campaign offices on the Hill. She accused Joe Biden of touching her inappropriately, penetrating her with his digitally penetrating her. We all know the story. We know the situation. Okay, of course, Joe Biden has denied the allegations. He flat out denied all he did. He sat down for about 20 minutes with Mika Brzezinski. She acted like she never did any research on the story. How I know more about the story than Mika Brzezinski know? I don't know. She paid a lot more money than Tim Black. How she have no facts about any of the allegations? And gave Joe Biden a softball interview, the biggest softball interview, type of softball you throw to a 3-year-old. Just like, here you go, baby. No, you did it. Oh, you did it. And tried to make it seem like she was giving him tough questioning because she frowned her her face. Here you go. Trying to make it like see she was being tough on him. She still threw the ball nice and soft over the plate. So Megyn Kelly interviewed Tara Reade today, and she talked about, they had a chance to actually get to the bottom of some things. And I want to just play a very small piece of Megyn Kelly talking to Tara Reade.
Let's talk about what he said, because he went on TV last Friday and said, first of all, it never happened. Period. End of report. This did not happen. He did say that in his view, accusers should start off with the presumption that they're telling the truth. Do you think he's afforded you that presumption?
No. I mean, it's been stunning, actually, how some of his surrogates with the blue checks, that are his surrogates, have been saying really horrible things about me and to me on social media. He hasn't himself, but there's a measure of hypocrisy with the campaign saying it's safe. It's not been safe. All my social media has been hacked. All my personal information has been dragged through. Every person that maybe has a gripe against me, an ex-boyfriend or an ex-landlord or whatever it is, has been able to have a platform rather than me. Talking about things that have nothing to do with 1993, like even the whole thing with being called a Russian agent, that in particular, that incites people. People actually, I got a death threat from that because they thought I was being a traitor to America. And I mean, these are serious things. And his campaign is taking this position that they want all women to be able to speak safely. I have not experienced that.
If he's watching this, what do you want to say to him?
I want to say, you and I were there, Joe Biden. Please step forward and be held accountable. You should not be running on character for the President of the United States.
You want him to withdraw?
I wish he would. But he won't, but I wish he would. That's how I feel emotionally.
Do you want an apology?
I think it's a little late.
So before we talk about Megyn Kelly scoring this interview with Tara Reade, I'd like to go over a couple things here. A lot has changed in this case since, Joe Biden sat down with Mika Brzezinski of Morning Joe. One of the things, one hasn't changed actually, just never was brought up in the Morning Joe interview. Tara Reade's allegations against Joe Biden have been corroborated by a number of people, friends, neighbors, who said that Tara Reade told them of being sexually harassed, sexually assaulted by Joe Biden. Next door neighbors, people do back up her claims that she did communicate that to them. Okay, so that was never brought up in the Mika Brzezinski. Joan Walsh doesn't bring it up. Neera Tanden, the people that discredit Tara Reade never talk about the corroborating folks who say, yeah, she did mention this back in 94, 3 to 2000, years prior to Joe Biden running for president. This cycle, because this is the third time Joe Biden's run for president. We know that, right? Okay. So that's one thing. The other thing is, also not discussed on Mika Brzezinski's Morning Joe and not brought up by Joan Walsh, Neera Tan, and the other people, and Whoopi Goldberg and all these other people that discredit Tara Reade. There's a clip from Larry King. Larry King live back in 1993 where Tara Reade's mother calls up the Larry King show to report, asking for help to the panel of people that were on the show about her daughter who worked for a well-known senator who's had some problems in his office and no one would help her. And so that happened. I would find that as being a form of evidence as well to corroborate Tara Reade's story. I mean, unless you imagine, sort of similar to Joy Reid, when words were exposed of Joy Reid making very homophobic, horrible statements about gay people, she said that it wasn't her, that somehow someone must have broke into time, jumped into a time machine, went back in time, and wrote that on her blog, and then, I don't know, then it, somehow it got there that she didn't know about. Somebody, I don't know. So that's what I guess they think happened with Larry King, is that somebody went back in time, jumped into Larry King's shows, video archives, and inserted this comment, and then had everybody respond to it. So everybody had to go back in time, not just the voice of her mother, but Larry King and the people that were on the show. Anyway, I know it seems convoluted and crazy, but that's what people think. Or either they could just believe that maybe something happened. Enough where now Tara Reade has evidence on videotape that someone told her mother. If not her, someone did. Okay. Now we're getting closer to present day. Tara Reade, her husband, right? Am I leaving out something? Her husband, this is new. Her husband corroborates the story, her ex-husband. So back in, what year was this? So there's a court document that's been found. This is in writing. The first time there's been information in writing that corroborates her story. A Theodore Dronin, which is her ex-husband, she had a lawsuit. She wanted a restraining order on her husband. They were going through hard times. They were becoming separated. And in this court filing, he says, hey, well, look, my wife, she got problems. Now, I'm deducing this. I'm breaking this down. She said, my wife has problems because she's just fearful of men. She has problems because, she was sexually assaulted by someone in her office back in 1993, and now she has these problems dealing with men. So some of her issues are not because of me, they're because of this thing that she told me to happen to her back in 93 when we first started dating and her job on Capitol Hill. So once again, folks, we have more corroborating evidence that if Tara Reade is making this all up, woo! She's amazing. She has the ability to time travel. She has also the ability to jump into other people's bodies and have them falsify information. She has the ability to Jedi mind trick her husband back in time to make a statement to the court in defense of himself, throwing a future vice president under the bus without even knowing that person would become the future vice president. Wow. And Tara Reade is not telling us God honest truth. I need her because I want to hit the lottery. And there's so many things I could use. She has skills. Now, of course, I'm being flippant here. I'm joking now, but I'm keeping it real. Like, this is what these corporate hacks who want Joe Biden in so much, they hate Trump so much, they work for corporations, they want Joe Biden, damn the ethics, forget all about what's right, what's wrong. Look, guys, I'm not saying Tara Reade is right or wrong or accurate or inaccurate. What I'm telling you is she got a story to tell, and it has more substance than previous Me Too allegations that we were shoved down our throats by Hollywood and by people on the senators like Kirsten Gillibrand, Lisa Milano in Hollywood. Like, this has more teeth than all those allegations that we can cite. Definitely more corroboration than Dr. Blasey Ford, who didn't even remember when her sexual assault allegedly happened. And there's more to that as well. Now, the kicker now to me is this, and now this is amazing. The fact is that these so-called people on the left, people on the center left, or whatever they call themselves, the fair and balanced. What's CNN? We're the home of fair and balanced news. Whoa, world's topsy-turvy. These people that claim that they're the home of fair and balanced reporting have thrown Tara Reade under the bus, and they allow Megyn Kelly to out women's right them. Do you understand that? They have allowed Megyn Kelly to out civil women's rights them because they were so busy carrying water for Joe Biden that they were not willing to give Tara Reade a fair hearing at all. And now the woman, Megyn Kelly, who said, Santa Claus is white and Jesus is white. Get over it, blacks. That woman, that hateful individual is now appears more ethical, and I'm going to say it, more ethical than Rachel Maddow and Anderson Cooper and Chris Hayes. You gave it a shot, but you didn't have her on the show. He did the best he could. I mean, he did something. So let me take Chris Hayes out because he's the only one. And they called him a Russian spy for even talking about the possibility that Tara Reade should be listened to. They were ready. They had a hashtag trending to fire Chris Hayes just for saying, hey, maybe we should listen to her. You would have thought he was getting flagged like in Hamburger Hill. That ain't Hamburger Hill. It's like, what's that movie where they come and get the soldier and everybody hits them, they put soap in their socks. You know the one. And they beat them with socks because they were pissed off because they had to do extra PTA. They had to do push-ups and stuff. Remember that shit? Remember that movie? Anyway, that's what this is like. That's what they did to Chris Hayes. Why they do it? They did it because, somebody knows it, they did it because Chris Hayes has had the audacity to suggest that maybe Tara Reade should be given a fair hearing. And all I'm saying is now they look horrible. You look horrible. You have no credibility. This will be used against you, and it should be used against you. I don't know what happened with Tara Reade and Joe Biden, but I know Joe Biden is not going to be able to drone on for 20 minutes, walk around and knock furniture over, talking about what he did or didn't do, and think he's going to put this to bed. This is not going to bed, Joe Biden. You're going to have to deal with it. And to those people who say, well, you guys are just feeding into this. If it was your daughter, your wife, your sister, your cousin, you would not feel the same way. You need to put your politics aside and just ask for fairness. I supported Dr. Blasey Ford's allegations to get to the bottom of it. I wanted to hear those allegations in a public setting. I was not on the side of Brett Kavanaugh. I just like beers. I like to drink beer. I wasn't on that guy's side. I wanted justice to be done, and I wanted the truth to come out, and I was willing to sit down and listen. Now, you should have that same energy. If you were that way then, you should have that same energy now about Tara Reade, and there's really no excuse to be any other way. So, I've offered Tara Reade my platform. She don't need it. In fact, I understand why she hasn't come on. Because, now they're going to want to talk to her like I started this show. First you didn't know me. Now they all on me. Yeah, they all want to talk to her now because now they look bad. You have to shame them, Tara Reade. You have to shame them into giving you a platform. They're going to have to do it now because now Fox News has it. And they ain't going to let go. Maybe if you want a candidate that can't get brought up with allegations of sexual harassment or rape, maybe you should get a candidate that doesn't have a history of being creepy and smelling people's hair and touching people inappropriately, who hasn't gone on the record to say there's been times he has not respected a woman's space. That guy might not be the best person to lead your party. I'm just saying. All right. So anyway, I'll be giving you updates on this story. I look forward to seeing Tara Reade on MSNBC. Maybe Morning Joe. Maybe Mika would like to redeem herself because she look like shit right now. Join us Friday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Freedom Friday with the Tim Black Show, where you get to call up and be the star of the show. See you there.